Hey guys, my name is Shake, or as I'm known on Instagram, the Puppy Doc. Cody sent me a video earlier this week of him terrorizing his dog's soft palate. I saw the video, thought I could use a little house beat behind it, so I chopped it up a little bit, remixed it. It's at the end of the vlog. Check it out, and give me a follow on Instagram if you like it.
Hello Palpation Nation, welcome to the vlog. Today I'm on call. I have a few feedlot calls to do, and then I have a presentation to give at a hotel. It is on antimicrobial prescribing and dispensing in opportunities in business. And then I'm gonna probably go cut some dads. I don't think I'll be able to get everything done in between that. And then this evening I have a banquet to go to as well, so yeah. The day. That's what I gotta do.
Okay, we made it to the feedlot. 2 postmortems here. Just getting you guys on my tripod. Finished the post-mortem. It was a free gas bloat, not a freak ass bloat. Some people in the YouTube comments always think I'm saying freak ass bloat. It's free gas bloat. So I just looked at 2 things as I was leaving the feedlot. One was a suspect congestive heart failure. He actually was not a congestive heart failure, so I did a physical exam on him and he was normal. He was just pulled because he had a big brisket, but it was just a fatty brisket. Should taste good, nice Angus genetics. And then I also just looked at a horse who is looking a little bit tucked up and he's kind of sore on his hind end. Just like sore, no injury or anything, just he's not feeling very good. I'm gonna take blood work on him and we'll just reassess in a couple of days. Okay, now I'm heading into Calgary for this Vet Med Association discussion on prescribing and dispensing.
I'll now ask Dr. Cody Creelman to the stage to talk about VCPRs and producers.
Thank you everyone for having me. So my talk is taking the scary out of VCPR. I'm going to tell you a little bit. I was going to film this scene as soon as I went pee, but my battery's almost dead, so yeah. I'm gonna pee my pants. Okay. Alright, so my talk is done, just talking about my practice and what we've done for veterinary patient-client relationship and how we record that and how we made it a business opportunity. So now I got about an hour and then it's cocktail hour and then it's the supper.
Welcome to the 2019 Membership Recognition Banquet. It is a pleasure to recognize colleagues with the numerous significant rewards that will be presented tonight. I am the president of the Alberta Veterinary Medical Association.
The AVVMA Communications Award is presented in recognition of activities enhancing the image of our veterinary profession. Dr. Cody Creelman is the recipient of this award. Could I please invite Dr. Craig Doran and Miss Sienna Tanis up to present the award.
Sienna and I have nominated our friend and my partner, Cody Creelman, for the ABMA Communications Award. And I think most people in the room would agree that he's set an amazing example over the last many years of promoting veterinary medicine, food animal practice, and just generally farm life all across the world. The feedback that our practice gets from the work that Cody's done is actually phenomenal.
I wanted to nominate Cody for this award for several reasons, and I think the first one, and probably the biggest one, is that he's an amazing mentor. And he's had a big impact on my life and a big impact on my career, and he's really changed the direction that I've went for myself. And the next is his impact on students, and I think this one is also huge. I tell you a little story about a truck ride we had with the students. So we take a lot of students along on ride-alongs and a lot of externs in our practice, and we had a pre-vet student with us, and she was a little bummed out that she hadn't got into vet school yet, and she was discussing fear. She said, "Cody, I'm always scared. Like, I'm scared I won't get into vet school. I'm scared I'll fail my exams." And he said, "Man, I'm scared all the time. I was scared that I wouldn't get into vet school, and I puked before every exam before I got into vet school." And he said, "But you use that fear." And I think that was a big turning point. Like, it was just a paradigm shift that you need to use that fear, and that's what drives you. And he just is very good at inspiring the future generation. And I also have a quote here from another student. So she was also a pre-vet, and she had listened to one of his podcasts. He's always putting out good content and working with schools and doing speeches. And here's one of the quotes. So she said, "You are the first cow vet I had ever heard talk about how much you loved your work. That was such a positive influence on my mindset, and for that I will forever appreciate you. Do not underestimate the powerful and positive effect you have had on students aspiring to do what you do." And that was from Anna in Utah.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm going to slide that down. You work with these people every single day, and they say nice things, but you get a little emotional when they say really, really nice things. So I thank you guys so much for nominating. I really, really appreciate it. Reflecting back on I guess, kind of my storytelling genesis, I like to tell vet students when I'm talking about, how I got started, was when I was 16 years old. I had never thought about veterinary medicine, and there was this girl on my school bus, and she knew me. I worked for her dad on his farm, and she had done a volunteer work experience at her local vet clinic. And she said to me, "I think you would really enjoy this as a work experience." So I thought, a vet clinic, I guess I'll try it out. And I remember walking into that veterinary clinic, and I fell in absolute love with everything. I fell in love with the culture and with the history and with the future and with the medicine and the surgery. I fell in love with everything. And I remember I was late for my English class every day afternoon. So I would spend the mornings every day in the vet clinic, and every afternoon I was late for English class. Now I'd come in late, dripping placenta or pus, or my arms were stained with iodine. And I remember my English teacher, she would stop the class every single day, and she'd say, "Okay, Cody, tell us your story." And I think she saw in me just that passion, right? That blind passion that I had. And I would get into this story of this amazing abscess that we popped, or this prolapse that we pushed in. Or I remember I was so proud of myself the first time I got to hold a tail during a semen test. I thought that was like the pinnacle of my success, that I got the vet entrusted in me to keep that probe in there. So that was really I think some of the genesis. So yes, I'm a natural storyteller. But Craig is right. I didn't set out on this journey. This was part of a thing to do for the vet practice. This was hyper-local marketing for our veterinary services. I was just trying to show people in our general area that we were cow vets, and we were good cow vets, and we were good people. That's all the genesis was. I had never expected it to be past that. And it certainly has done that. Lots of new clients, lots of positive interaction. I like to tell the story about heading out to a farm or a new client's call, and you step out of your truck, and because of the videos, people look at me and they greet me, but they greet me like an old friend. They know about my family. They trust me as a veterinarian. They trust me as a person, more importantly, and I've never met them before. And you guys know how hard that is to establish that relationship in traditional veterinary medicine. Sometimes that takes years. You know, sometimes we only see these people 1 or 2 times a year. And you step out of your truck and they greet you like an old friend. So it's done that. It certainly has done that. But he didn't expect it to grow past that. And I think one of the most impactful things that it has done so far for my career is just in terms of the student and community interaction. I never expected that veterinary students would have any sort of, interest in what I was doing as a crazy cattle vet in the Great White North. But it has been really impactful. I've spoken at lots of universities across Canada and the US. I do webinars literally all over the world trying to touch with students and to give them a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of wisdom. And one of the comments that I get back the most from veterinary students, and I literally get dozens of these messages per week, is students reach out to me and they just want to thank me for putting out my videos. And the thing that they thank me for is they thank me for just showing that there's a veterinarian out there with a smile on his face. Really. Online there's a lot of pessimism within the veterinary community. There's a lot of drum banging, and sometimes those negative people get all the attention. And then these vet students are expected to go out into this world with mounds of student debt and somehow be successful with high suicide rates and depression. And they see a cow vet out there whose family apparently loves him and is apparently succeeding in practice and is having fun to the extent that he can dress up in a Santa Claus suit. Santa Claus is prank testing cows. Pregnant! And do a music video. And that he just has a smile on his face. And they tell me that they thank me for my videos because it is literally the only thing that is their guiding light while they're studying. The guiding light while they're in the throes of veterinary school, and we remember how hard that was, that there is some sort of light at the end of the tunnel. So I don't think what's unique about me is my story, or that I'm a storyteller, because most of you are. One of my favorite things about getting together with veterinarians is when everybody whips out their iPhone and we start sharing really amazing pictures and telling cases. We are all living amazing stories. My story is not amazing. The only unique thing is that I tell it, right? That I tell it publicly. I tell it on a forum where there's attention. So I just kind of want to maybe challenge some of you out there that you can make a positive impact on the rest of the community, the veterinarians, the young veterinarians, the students out there, really just by telling your story and that you enjoy your job. So thank you very much to my team for putting up with all of my craziness that I've bestowed upon the practice. Thank you to the ABVMA also for putting up with all of the craziness that I've bestowed upon the ABVMA. And thank you guys so much for your support. I appreciate it.
Rebuild their veterinary confidence. Veterinarians whose work-life balance had been broken. I take it as a responsibility to show there is value in veterinary medicine, a responsibility to demonstrate that with the right philosophy and dynamic, you can have a fulfilling career.
Sorry, my battery died on that post-mortem, so a client left a calf at the clinic. Oh, Phineas. Oh, help. Ooh. So a client left a calf at the clinic, and I did a post-mortem, so he had avomyositis, rheumatitis, and a peritonitis, clostridial overgrowth syndrome. So that's it for the day. Did the postmortems, did my little talk, and won the communications award for my Vet Med Association. So thank you to the association, and thanks to Sienna and Craig for nominating me. And yeah, that's the day. Play soft palate. Ready?
It's not an abscess.
I look in here.
Stay out of my gas hole.